From beautiful beaches to unreal, terrifying cliff jumps, the Philippines has it all. With still relatively low tourism rates compared to the rest of Southeast Asia, the Philippines is a hidden gem. It doesn't matter if we're talking about the food, the scenery, the people, the beaches, it's all amazing. That's why it's my favorite country in the entirety of Southeast Asia. The Philippines is made up of over 7,000 islands, making it not the easiest thing to find your way around. So I decided to make a guide on the 1-month route my friends and I took around the country. When I was traveling, I really wished something like this existed to bounce off ideas and see a general route. So here it is. So starting it off, because we only have 1 month, we're only visiting Central Philippines. And here our trip is starting in Cebu. Flying into Cebu puts you in a really good position for the days to come. Getting there, sleeping the night, and then moving on the next day. Something I cannot recommend highly enough is the House of Lechon for dinner. I'm just gonna leave it at that. You've got to try it. Is it good? That is amazing. Time for destination number 2, Oslob. From Cebu, you can catch an extremely cheap bus that takes you down the coast and drops you off right in the town. One thing to note is that the only thing to really do in Oslob is see the whale sharks, so I recommend you go for 1 day. Now, I've made an entire video on this already and you can watch that, but some people don't agree with the whale shark watching, in which case you'll probably want to skip over Oslob and just head on to the next place. If you're deciding to go see the sharks though, you need to stay at Sharky's Hostel. This hostel offers the cheapest viewing along with being the first boat out every day. After the sharks, we packed up our bags and headed over to Wildwell. Standing in Oslob, you can catch a bus that will take you there in about 2 hours for next to nothing, and play some funky music. We spent our 3 days in Wildwell at Emok's guest house. I spent one of my favorite days throughout the entire month here doing body-on canyoneering at Kawasan Falls. The experience is so much fun, you can check out my other video for that, and if you decide to do it, my good friend Gilbert has got you covered. Best canyoneering guide in the area. From there, you can spend another 2 days in Wildwell, which I think is perfect. We rented bikes and spent a day chasing waterfalls and visiting hot springs, and then a second day snorkeling for turtles. I didn't find one, but Nick and Marie did, so worth. Our next stop is Siquijor. We drove from Wildwell to the southern port on Cebu and hopped on a ferry. Siquijor was one of my favorite islands that we went to. We spent 3 days there and that was perfect. There are so many little things to do, so my best advice would be to rent bikes and just chase waterfalls, chase scenery, chase beaches. It's such a small island that you're able to see the entire thing within 2 or 3 days. It gives you some great time to relax, just take it easy, kick back, and feel the island vibes. And if you're lucky enough to be there on a Friday, you've got to attend Caesars. Everyone on the island attends this crazy party and it's nothing but good times. Next stop, Bohol. We caught a ferry off the coast of Siquijor, quite a bit more expensive than all the other ferries, but it was alright. Bohol was not our favorite island, so we only spent 1 full day there. We rented bikes and drove the typical route, seeing the Emerald River, the man-made forest, the Tarsiers, and the Chocolate Hills. But after that, it began to rain, and it was raining hard, so we headed back to the hostel, called it a day, and left the next. Bohol has much more to offer, I'm sure, but this is just our experience, so take it with a grain of salt. And now off to Siargao. To get there, we took a ferry back to Cebu City, and then a ferry all the way to Siargao City, and then another ferry to Siargao Island. It's a long process, but trust me, it's worth it. Now it's time to relax. I'd spend a week here. All of the hostels and guest houses book in terms of months rather than nights, because people stay so long. This is a surfer's paradise. Awesome for the most advanced of surfers, but also for the noobs like me. Siargao also has some amazingly beautiful islands surrounding it, making for some crazy island tours. And to top it off, the island itself is great, so you can spend days just exploring, relaxing, hanging out, and just taking it in. My love for this island is insane. From Siargao, we're going all the way to the other side of the country, to Palawan. The easiest way to do this is just fly. Once we arrived, we spent one day in Puerto Princesa, which is where the airport is, and then we immediately moved on to Port Barton, my favorite place in the Philippines. Port Barton is the second place I would spend 1 week in. It's popular, but if you can, try and stay at Lady Gaga's Yellow House. Her and her husband are absolutely amazing. Port Barton is just going to be a chill town. You're in the middle of nowhere, you do not have constant electricity, but what you do have is beautiful beaches all to yourself. You can spend your days exploring beaches, hanging out in the town, and doing a beautiful island tour. After the amazingly relaxing time in Port Barton, we caught a bus and headed up north to El Nido, probably the most popular destination on Palawan. El Nido is very busy. It's the party city of Palawan. If you can't tell my travel style by now, I much prefer a laid-back beach than a party. So for that reason, El Nido wasn't my favorite, but I'm sure a lot of you will have different opinions on that. We still spent 3 days there though. There's tons to explore, there's beaches to hang out on, and there's good times to be had. You should check out Nakpan Beach and do an island tour if you're feeling up for it. After our time in El Nido, we headed over to our final destination, the beautiful island of Coron. The best way to get there from El Nido is taking the ferry. We opted for the slow ferry. Yes, it takes a bit longer, but it's cheaper and we had the time to spare. We spent 3 days on Coron. You can explore the island, kayak around the bay, but the most popular thing they offer is island tours. Because Coron is made up of so many islands, it's a great way to see them all.
Run and look behind you and say, everybody who wants to run, run, but I can't stop running because you're not running with me. Listen to me, hear me. You can't stop chasing your dream just because somebody in your life won't chase it with you.
Sadly, I don't know how, so we didn't do it, but apparently Coron has some amazing dive spots, so if you're into that, this is the place to be. The only gripe that I have about Coron is there's not much to do on the island itself. So just keep that in mind. You probably have a day of stuff to do on the island, and then after that you'll have to book tours or boats. And just like that, you've spent 1 month in the Philippines. Crazy, I know. To leave Coron, you can either take the ferry back to Palawan and then fly from there, or you can take a ferry to Manila and fly from there. If the budget permits, just fly straight from Coron to wherever you need to. So that's it. Like I said, I'm not saying you guys should copy this route exactly. You and I are different travelers and it's more fun to do your own thing. But hopefully this was able to help you and give you some inspiration for your next trip. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all in another one. Peace.